Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a question from ExamMate. And now ExamMate is a great resource to get IB style questions. And in fact, the questions that are on there are from IB past papers. And this is a question from an IB past paper. And I don't know which one it is because it was sent to me by one of my subscribers. But I'm going to be here, I'm going to solve it. And as you can probably see, it is to do with stoichiometry. And this is another topic which students find difficult a lot of the times. Now, this question has asked us 8.5 grams of NH3 are dissolved in H2O to prepare a 500 centimeters cube solution. Which statements are correct? And they've given us three different statements. The first statement is that NH3 is a solute and H2O is the solution. Well, that is true. NH3 is the solute. Now, the solute is the substance which is dissolved. So it is a substance which is dissolved. Usually it is a solid substance. It is usually a solid substance. And I specify usually, not all the time, but usually it is. On the other hand, the solvent or the solution is the thing that is dissolving something else. And as you can see in this, H2O is dissolving NH3. And usually the substance which is dissolving is a liquid. In fact, it is almost all of the times, it is a liquid. Like you dissolve something in water or you dissolve something in oil. So these are the solvents or the solutions. And the solute is the substance that you dissolve in the liquid or in the solvent. So yes, we can agree with statement one. Statement one is completely correct. NH3 is the solute and NH3 is the solution. And sorry, H2O is the solution. What about 2? Is 2 correct? 2 says the concentration of the solution is 17 grams per decimeter cubed. So it's 17 grams per decimeter cubed. Now, how do we determine the concentration of a solution? How do you do that? Well, the first clue that they have given you is the units. They have told you that the units is grams per decimeters cubed. And we know how many grams of NH3 we have. We have 8.5 grams of NH3. So to determine its concentration, all we have to do is to divide the mass of NH3, which is 8.5 grams, by the total volume of the solution that we're dissolving it in. But the volume should be in decimeters cube because that's what they have told us. It's grams per decimeter cube. So we have 8.5 grams and we need to divide it by the volume of the solution in decimeters cube. And if you watched my previous videos, I have explained that the conversion from centimeters cube to decimeters cube is done by dividing by 1000. So if you want to go from centimeters to decimeters, you have to divide by 1000. And then you get your answers in decimeters cubed. So we have to divide 500 by 1000, which is basically 0.5. So it's 8.5 divided by 0.5. And I know that you don't get a calculator in the paper, but 8.5 divided by 0.5 is the same thing as 8.5 divided by 1 over 2. And now we need to get this fraction to the top. And when we get something to the top, we flip the fraction. So it basically becomes 8.5 times 2 because we flip it. So it becomes 2 over 1. When we bring it to the top, it flips. So it becomes 2 over 1. And 2 over 1 is nothing but 2. So 8.5 times 2 is equal to 17. And therefore, the concentration of the solution is indeed 17 grams per decimeter cube. So this is correct as well. Hopefully that, I know that when we get to the math, it gets a bit confusing, but that's just a method to do it. I'm not very good at explaining mathematical concepts, but hopefully you understand that. Now, let's take a look at the third statement. But before we proceed to the third statement, now that we have gathered some information on this question, we can actually eliminate a few options. So We can eliminate 1 and 3 only because, well, as we saw, 2 is also correct. We can eliminate 2 and 3 only because, as we saw, 1 is correct. So these two options are not we're not going to take these into consideration anymore. Next, we have A and D. Now, out of A and D, which one is it going to be? And to determine that, we have to take a look at 3. Is 3 correct? Now, statement 3 also deals with the concentration of NH3, but in different units. Over here, we calculated the concentration in grams per decimeter cubed. Over here, they're asking us in moles per decimeter cubed. And you may be confused by this notation where they have written NH3 like this. When they write it in such brackets, in these square brackets, it means nothing but the concentration of a substance. So for example, you could have seen this H plus. So it's basically concentration of H plus. You can see something like this. So it would be concentration of sulfuric acid. So that's basically what the notation for concentration is. Now they've told you that they're basically saying here in fewer words that the concentration of NH3 is equal to 1 mole per decimeters cubed. And as I mentioned before, the units for concentration has changed over here. It's not grams per decimeter cubed, but rather it is moles per decimeter cubed. So if you want to convert from grams per decimeter cube to moles per decimeter cube, there's actually a very easy method to do so. It's a quick method and it doesn't take long. All you have to do is you have to take the concentration in grams per decimeter cube, which was 17, and you have to divide it by the molecular mass or the molar mass of the substance that you are dissolving. So we have to divide it by the molar mass of NH3. And if you calculate it, the molar mass of NH3 is roughly 17, which gives us an answer of 1 mole per decimeters cubed. So therefore, this statement is correct. But if you don't want to do this method, if you find this method a bit confusing, I also have another method. And let me show you how to do that. That is a longer method, but it makes things a bit clearer. Now, if you want to determine the concentration of a substance in moles per decimeter cubed, well, we have to find out how many moles are there per dm cubed. So we have to divide the moles of the substance that you're dissolving, in which case we have NH3, and we have to divide it by the volume of the solution in decimeters cubed. So it's volume in decimeters cubed. It's the exact same thing as grams per decimeter cubed. It's the exact same thing as we did earlier, but just we have replaced grams with moles. In this time, we're just doing different units or different methods of measuring substance. So how many moles of NH3 are there? We have to divide, as you know, number of moles is equal to the mass of the substance divided by its molar mass. Molar mass of NH3 is 17. And 8.5 is exactly 1/2 of 17. So the number of moles is 1/2 or 0.5. So the number of moles is 0.5. And the volume in this case in decimeters cubed is still going to be 0.5 as I showed you, and this is also equal to 1. So as you see, doesn't matter which method you use, you end up with the same answer. And as you can already see, IB is very careful with how they design questions. They will never give you a sum, or they will never give you calculations that are not possible to do without a calculator. And you can see that the calculations are extremely simple. You can do them without a calculator. You just have to do a bit of thinking about it. And you may be a bit confused if you don't know what I'm talking about, but you're not allowed to use a calculator in paper one, in case you didn't know that. I didn't know that until I was in the exam hall. It came as a bit of a surprise to me, but IB designs the paper in such a way that you will never need to use a calculator in paper one. And hopefully you can see that. So we can eliminate option A, and D is indeed the correct answer. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that I've answered my subscribers' question. If any of you watching have a question, please feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram. I'll be more than happy to help you, or send me a question by email or put it in the comments below, and I will be at your service. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in another video with another question.